Welcome to our hours and payment pro smart billing with instant PDF. The system is going to allow you to be able to have accurate time tracking and also unlimited hours of minutes that you can be able to apply for overtime or weekend rates. It also has payment calculations that you can be able to do to calculate your hours and the minute using Naira, dollar, euro, or pound, depending on the type of the currency you are working with. It also has a professional invoicing system that automatically generates a PDF that has an invoice with your logo and the company name and also the client details you actually want to send the invoice to. It enables you to also have the history and also the project management information that you tend to keep for reference purpose and also enable you to actually edit these data anytime you actually want to correct what you have already saved. And apart from that, it also allows you to export your invoice either as an Excel file or a CSV. You can also share it by WhatsApp or you can also share it by email. That is after converting it to PDF and download it. The system is designed to actually be a modern design system with mobile friendly and responsive designs that allow you to be able to manage all your calculation correctly. Let me quickly take you through the process on how the system works. This is actually the pro version. We also have the standard version, which is not the pro version without some of these features. So the standard version is also available. You can also check the site. You are going to see the standard version, but this is now the pro version of the software. So starting from here, you can see it's telling us to provide the company name. So this is where you are going to provide the company name that you are actually working from and also the recipient name and also the client name. So now if the name of the company will be provided here, let's say I want to call this company name as Ozi General Enterprise. Can you see as I'm typing it, the invoice preview is also showing at the right side. Can you see here? You can see the invoice preview is also showing here. You can also decide to add the company logo by clicking on this. So if I click on this and we have any of the logo, I will be able to add the logo for this specifically. So I'm taking this to be the logo that I'm going to work with. Let's say I want to work with this DSTV decoder as the logo. You can see you are going to have the company logo here, the recipient name. So this is telling you to provide the recipient name of the person that you actually want to send this to as an invoice. So let me say the recipient name should be Abu Bashir. What organization is this recipient working for? Let's call the organization to be Resort Camp. Let's call the organization to be Resort Camp. And what name did I actually want to save it so that I should be able to remember? Let me say uh, there will be, that is, any client you are going to have their name saved so that you should be able to edit each of their payments that you have actually calculated. And what is the role of this individual? I can type here to be a developer. So after filling all of this, if I go down, you can see this is where we have our time entries. So you can be able to add your hours, you can add your minutes, you can also provide the rates here for each of these hours. And you can also switch between normal, overtime, and also weekend. And you see, you can switch between normal, overtime, and also weekend. So this star is going to cancel it. So the moment I click here, you can see it has actually canceled everything. I can also add the role. You can add as many roles as possible. Can you see? You can add as many roles as possible. You can also clear the rows, just allowing only one of the roles to be visible. And you can also have a sample to see how you'll be able to fill all of these data. Can you see? You have also a sample that will show you how you'll be able to fill these data. So let's say the individual work for, we want to work with a week now. Let's say on Monday, probably the individual work for 2 hours, 20 minutes, and we'll add the second role. Here, we actually want to work with the total rate, that's the flat rate for everything. So that's why I'm not filling here. So we are leaving this place to be empty, and we're assuming to be a normal hour, not actually an overtime or maybe a weekend hours. So we are assuming it to be a normal hour. So let's say the second hour to be 3, and also how many minutes. Let's zoom here to be 10. So automatically, if you check this, you'll find out that we have 2 hours and also have 3 hours. So this should give me 5 hours, and I also have 20 minutes and also 30 minutes. So I'm expecting this to get 20 and 10. So I'm expecting it to give me 30 minutes. So now, based on the default hour rate that you actually want to work with, you can set the hour for the payment. Like for each of the hour, how many for each of the hour, what is the total amount of the payment that this individual will actually going to be paid. So here, let's say the individual will be paid 2,000 naira per hour. So automatically, for 30 minutes, that should be 1,000 naira. So do you have any overtime? If you have, you can input the overtime. If you don't have, you leave it. And what currency did you want to work with? You can see we have Naira, dollar, Europe, and also pound. So I want to work with Naira. And do we have any tax? So if you have a tax, you can also decide to put a tax. If you don't have, you leave the tax. So let's say the tax is 5%. Now after that, this is weekend. So we don't have anything to work for the weekend. So down here, you see you can either export it as an Excel sheet. You can also export it as a CSV. You can also share it via WhatsApp. You can also email it to individuals, but this you have to share it as what? You have to download it first as a PDF before you'll be able to share it. Now, at the right side here, this is how where the invoice are actually going to be created, and this invoice are also going to be sent to the recipient the moment you actually calculate this. So I've not actually calculated that. That's why you are seeing all these data to actually be zero. And also here the history, if you remember, we talk about saving the client a name so that you should be able to get some of his data anytime you want to work with. So here we can see no save calculations yet, and you can also clear all the available calculations. So I don't have anyone yet, and you can also download the history as what as an Excel sheet too, the XLS. So now let's just click on the calculate. Let's see how it's going to be. Wow, you can see. So it has automatically calculated and also give me the summary of the breakdown here. So you can see the summary of the breakdown, and also our invoice have automatically been generated. So we said we have 5 hour 30 minutes automatically generated this for us, which is beautiful. And the breakdown, you have 2 hours 20 minutes. So the 2 hours 20 minutes, that should be based on the amount we set. We said is what, 2,000 naira. So that is 2,000 times 2 hours. That is for every 2 hours. Every hour we have 5,000 naira. So every hour we have 2,000 naira. So currently this is 2 hours. We have 4,000, and we have 20 minutes to be about 666.67. Also we also have this. So combining all of them together, this is the breakdown. So the gross payment is actually 11,000 naira. So the 5% that we provided, you can see we now have the 5% here. And what is the net pay? So automatically we are going to deduct this 5% from this gross payment, and we are going to have a net pay of 100 or we are going to have a net pay of 10,415 naira. So that is the amount that this individual is actually going to get for the week he has actually come to work. Now going back to the right side here, you can see the invoice now. Everything is now generated in the invoice format for us. You can see the serial number, the description, and also the amount also generated, the gross payment, also the tax, and also the net payable amount with the name of the individual. If you check here, you can see bill to. This is the name of the individual. What organization is the individual working for? What is the client name? You can see that we tend to see, and also what is the role of the client. You can see it to be this. And if you check the invoice, you will find out that it automatically generates an invoice number for us. And also the date is 28th of 8th 2025 at exactly 12:50 a.m. at exactly 12:50 a.m. So if I want to save this, the moment I click on save, so here, let's say I want to save this, you check this history, you will find out that the data will automatically be saved. So I click on the save. You see this page is what is saved, so I'll click on OK. Coming down here, you can see the name we save it, Adamobi, with developer 828. By this time it has already been saved. You can also restore it maybe after you have made some calculations and there is an error, so you'll be able to use this restore to actually modify your data again, so that you shouldn't start everything from the beginning again. You should not start everything from the beginning. You can also delete this. Now I want to export this, either LSX or CSV, or maybe you want to share it by WhatsApp, or maybe you want to share it by mail. So let's just say I want to share by WhatsApp. You can also download it as a PDF. So if I want to download or share it as a PDF, or you want to print. So if you want to print it, if I click on this print, you can see it automatically generates the print interface for me to allow me to print the page, right? To allow me to print the page. So but for the invoice, you can decide to download it, you can also decide to share it. So share PDF or maybe share email, you pick which one you actually want to work with. So the moment I decide to say, okay, maybe I want to work with the email to share, then I'll click on this. Could not generate the PDF to share automatically. So the app, the PDF, so the app download the PDF inside. I said okay. So that means I'll allow it to download. So let's wait for it to download. So I'm going to see the download option. So you can also get this as PDF, as WhatsApp. You can also download it. So and see, it has actually downloaded the previous one. Is just the network. So you can see automatically generate our PDF for us. All right. So automatically generate our PDF for us. Let me close this. Uh, Asking me for the Adobe setup first. All right. So close this. So you can see you now have the data generated automatically to the PDF. So that is how the software actually work for the pro version. So you can decide to purchase this and actually work with it to ease your work in terms of calculating the hour and also the minute for the pay. You can add as many roles as possible. You can see you can add as many roles as possible. You can add them and continue adding. There is no limit to the number of roles that you'll be able to add. You can also cancel by actually clearing the role. So this is actually going to allow you to do your calculation quickly and easier to be able to get the total amount you are expected to be paid based on your hour and monthly pay. Thank you.